Hi everyone, this is Mahesh Adani. Good morning, good afternoon. I'll be taking this training on Fusion Financials or Oracle Financials Cloud. Will give you a brief introduction. I have 17 plus years of experience, predominantly in Oracle apps, and for last 5 years I'm working in Fusion apps and cloud. I have done multiple implementations, end-to-end implementations, and lot of POCs I've done. So this is brief about me. So this is the agenda which we are going to cover, and today it will be mainly overview of Fusion applications, what all modules are there or what all offerings are there in Fusion application that we will go through, and then there are some terminology changes between EBS. Most of you are from EBS, so in this training I'll be comparing with the EBS R12 or earlier versions, so that it will be easier for you to understand. So we'll cover few terms used in Fusion apps or ERP cloud. Then we'll go through the Fusion security, how this security works in Fusion. Then we'll briefly touch base on cloud licensing, so how this licensing model or subscription model works for ERP cloud. And then we'll navigate through the Fusion application and we'll understand various sections of it. And then we'll go through the functional setup manager or setup and maintenance work area. This is where we'll be configuring the application. And then we'll start with configuring the application, and we'll create implementation project and start doing the configuration. And today we'll cover enterprise structure, so legal entity and legal registration, those things we'll create. And if time permits, we will start configuring the chart of account. Basic chart of account we'll create. We'll go through the configuration and some theory portion, and then last half an hour, 1 hour, we will be doing hands-on. So I'll share the control with somebody, and others can follow those steps. So in 4.5 hours, I'll give a demo of configuration. So we'll start with implementation project and configure the ledger and everything. And then you can also do the hands-on online. Okay, so this is how we'll do this. And if you have any questions, just let me know. You can stop me and we can discuss and resolve that. Okay. So all of you are from EBS background, so you know Oracle, like they have acquired many companies in past few years. Some of the big acquisitions were like PeopleSoft in 2005, JD Edwards, Siebel, Hyperion, and very recently NetSuite. So Oracle is on this acquisition. They have acquired many companies. I don't even know the count, but maybe 100 plus companies they have acquired, and they had started working on Fusion application. So bringing best features from all the acquired products, and they came up with Fusion application. So it was officially launched sometime in 2011, and then in after that initially it was on-premise, and then they launched Fusion application on cloud, popularly known as ERP cloud or HCM cloud. So like EBS, PeopleSoft, JD Edwards, Siebel, they have embedded analytics and Fusion middleware components like SOA and OIM, all those Oracle Identity Manager. So all those technologies, best-in-class technologies, they brought together and they came up with this Fusion application. Okay. So initially, like when it was available on premise, so you need to implement to implement Fusion application, you will have application, and you need to implement middleware, database, virtual machine, operating system, storage, and servers. All those things you need to manage. So you will need to procure the hardware, because this Fusion application, it requires like top and hardware, like RAM should be, I think, 256 GB or 128 GB. So the requirement to run Fusion application, hardware requirement is huge. So like initially it was available on premise and a lot of customers had gone for it, but then Oracle started with cloud. So in cloud, we don't have to worry about middleware, database, operating system, VMs, storage, servers. All those things are managed by Oracle. Installation and everything, application installation, everything will be managed by Oracle. So Oracle will be hosting our environment. Okay. So like all these together known as Fusion application, or the on-premise version was known as Fusion application. Now we call it as ERP cloud or HCM cloud. So this like application landscape, what all things are included in it, or what all offerings are available at the moment. So you have CRM side, customer sales, marketing, all those things. We are mainly interested in this financials management, and it includes GL, AP, fixed assets, collections and payments, receivables, cash and expense management. So yeah, all these basic modules are available in Fusion application. So this is like SaaS availability, software as a service. What all applications are available? So under ERP, you have financials. So financials, when we say financials, it includes all the financials component like GL, AP, AR, fixed assets, cash management, Fusion tax, subledger accounting, payments, advanced collections. All those things are included in financials. Under ERP. Then you have reporting, revenue management, accounting hub reporting, FHRC, Fusion Accounting Hub Reporting Cloud. So which can coexist with ECS R12, 12.1.3 onwards, it can coexist. Then you have a PPM module, so Project Financials Management and Project Management, known as PPM, Project Portfolio Management. So financials related like billing, contract, all those things, and project management where you have task management, project control, all those things. And then you have procurement. It has like purchasing, self-service procurement, sourcing, supplier qualification, and purchasing contracts. So all these things together comes under ERP. So when we say ERP cloud, it includes all these things. And then we call it as a financials cloud or procurement cloud or PPM cloud. Then individual components will come into picture. And shortly we will discuss on the pricing, how it is priced, or how the subscription model works. So we'll go through that. Then you have supply chain management. Under that you have inventory management, logistics, order management, supply chain planning, all those things. So this supply chain, it was available from release 11. So earlier we had distributed order orchestration, and then order management and other things came in release 11. Still it is maturing, like inventory and other things were available previously, but this order management cloud, it came in release 11, and current release of this application is release 12, which was out in April. Then you have CX, CRM side, now it is called as CX, customer experience, and you have sales cloud, service, CPQ, configure, price and quote, commerce cloud, all these things are available. And EPM side, like we had Hyperion Hyperion suite of products like Hyperion Financial Management and others. So similarly on cloud, you have enterprise planning or planning and budgeting cloud service, PBCS, enterprise performance reporting, accounting reconciliation, financial consolidation, SCCS. So all these are available in under EPM cloud. And then you have HCM, so global human resources, so core HR, absences, payroll, all those things will come under this. And then you have talent management. And then you have Taleo also for recruitment and learning. You have Taleo. And then these social networking and other things are. So all these together are known as SaaS applications. We'll be mainly interested in financials in this training. So this Oracle Fusion application or ERP cloud, you have a choice. If you want to implement on-premise, you can do that, or you can subscribe for cloud services. So depending on your requirement, you can choose. But this on-premise version, not every release will be available on-premise. So we have seen that earlier, like release 9 was available, release 10 and 11 were not available on-premise, and now recently release 12, so it is again available on-premise. So I think every third release or after every 3 releases, on-premise version will be available. And on cloud, there are 3 different services. So like we cannot customize anything on cloud or SaaS application. So suppose if I'm licensed for say financials cloud, and I have some customization requirement, or I had some customization in my EBS release 12, R12, but I cannot do that customization in cloud. It is not possible because we won't have access to the database, and like we will just have a front end. We cannot customize anything. So there are 2 different options for customizations. One is PaaS and another one is IaaS. So PaaS is platform as a service. So you get a platform for development. Say for example, you have Java Cloud Service, that is JCS. You have Integration Cloud Service, ICS. You have SOA Cloud Service. So different services are available. I think 28 plus services are available. Database as a service, Java as a service, Integration Cloud as a service, SOA service, then BI service. All these services are available. So these are basically platform for development. Say for example, I want to develop a custom application. So I'll subscribe for Java service, that Java Service Cloud, JCS. So I can design my new page, and I can write custom code in it and use it. So you can have PaaS, platform as a service, or you can have IaaS, that is infrastructure as a service. So Oracle will be providing you the server with operating system, and then you can install any application. Or many customers are like on-premise customers, say EBS. So they are running EBS on-premise, and now they are moving that EBS to infrastructure as a service. So server maintenance and everything will be done by Oracle. We just need to lift and shift to infrastructure as a service. So now briefly let me touch base on the cloud subscription model. I have a very old price list which I had searched on Google, and I got it. It is a very old price list, latest price list, like I could not see the latest one in this format. So this is a 2014 price list. So let me just search for finance. Okay, so these are various cloud services available under Financials Cloud. Okay, so you have Fusion Financials Cloud Service, Expense Management Cloud Service, Accounting Hub Reporting Cloud Service. So under Financials Cloud Service, if you are say subscribing for Financials Cloud Service, then you get AP, AR, GL, fixed assets, cash management, fusion tax, subledger accounting. That is for subledgers. So all these modules you will get as part of this financial cloud service. And minimum you have to subscribe for 10 users. Okay, that is bare minimum requirement, and minimum you need to subscribe for 3 years. Okay. Then along with this, if you are procuring any of these cloud services, you have to procure this transaction business intelligence cloud service, and along with financials you need to procure this financial reporting cloud service. So all these three will come together. You can, if you refer these notes 9 and 20, you will see that along with financials cloud service, these are mandatory components. Okay, so all your core modules are available under Financials Cloud Service. Then expense management, expenses cloud service. So if you want to go for expense module like employee expense reimbursement and cash advance processing, or credit card, that corporate card integration. So in that case, you will need to procure this expenses cloud service, and it works based on number of expense reports. So minimum is 1000 reports, and then for each report there will be some charges. Then you have Fusion Accounting Hub Reporting Cloud Service, FHRC. So you might be aware of this Financial Accounting Hub in EBS R12. So you can get data from third-party application and write some rules in subledger accounting and do the accounting for those third-party transactions. So that was handled in Financial Accounting Hub. There is an equivalent of that in Fusion, that is Fusion Accounting Hub, but that is available only on premise, only in on-premise version. So same thing can be done, but that is available in on-premise Fusion Accounting Hub. And this is Fusion Accounting Hub Reporting Cloud Service. So the difference between Fusion Accounting Hub and Fusion Accounting Hub Reporting Cloud Service is you cannot integrate third-party application in FHRC to do the accounting. So accounting engine part is not available in this FHRC. So you can get journals from those third-party applications directly and import in FHRC. It is absolutely fine. But you cannot get say loan application data and write some rules in FHRC. That is not possible at the moment. I have seen few videos on LinkedIn, and that kind of functionality will be available in release 13. So release 13, few videos are already available. So I have seen that Fusion Accounting Hub, or to account for third-party applications, that functionality will be available in release 13. Okay. The best part of this FHRC is it is tightly integrated with EBS R12 version 12.1.3 onwards. So you can implement this, you can start using this FHRC in hours or in minutes. There is minimal configuration required in EBS side, and then system will automatically bring the setups and balances into FHRC automatically. When I say setups, so your chart of account definition, your ledger definition, your calendar definition, all those will come automatically as part of this integration. You don't need to configure ledger or chart of account in FHRC. It will come from EBS automatically. So you need to give some, so there are 2-3 pages, you need to enter the cloud URL, user ID, password, and from which period you want to start. and which ledger you want to migrate. So very basic configuration, hardly 10-15 fields you need to enter, and then you can start that integration. So system will automatically bring chart of account definition, values, calendar, primary ledger, all those things will come automatically in Fusion Accounting Hub Reporting Cloud, and then you can use the best-in-class reporting tools available in Fusion. So those can be used. Many customers are going for this FHRC just to get because Fusion has embedded S-base cube, so multi-dimensional reporting. So to use that, customers are going for this FHRC service. And also you can get data from multiple sources. So EBS, it is tightly integrated, but suppose you have PeoplesSoft financials also, JD Edwards financials also, your subsidiaries are using different applications. Then you can bring balances through say Excel journals or through some other integration services. You can bring data from those and do the consolidation in FHRC. So you can use that. It is separately licensed. If you are procuring this Fusion Financials Cloud service, then you get this automatically. You don't need to subscribe this separately. And again, this is for minimum 10 users. Then you have advanced collections cloud service. So in receivables, you have advanced collections in EDS R12 also. So here also it is separately licensed. Automated invoice processing cloud service. So in EBS, if we want to implement scanning solution, like you want to attach those invoice images automatically to AP invoices, you will need to go for some third-party application like Cofex and do the integration. Here in our Fusion ERP Cloud, that kind of integration, or like they have this automated invoice processing cloud service. So you will send that invoice image to a particular email ID, and system will automatically attach that email to the invoice, and it has some OCR feature as well, optical character recognition. So system will identify few things, few fixed fields like supplier name, supplier invoice date, invoice amount, invoice number. Few basic details of the invoice will be fetched automatically from that invoice image, and it is not necessary that image that invoice should be in some fixed format like invoice date should be here. It is not necessary. For same supplier, if supplier is sending in one format today and tomorrow in another format, you don't have to change anything. System will automatically recognize the information. So that is another cloud service, and is separately licensed. And again, it is based on number of records, number of invoices which you send. So it is based on that. Then another service is this revenue management cloud service. So in US, that revenue management or revenue recognition policy is changing. So based on that, this module handles that revenue recognition part. So Oracle had launched this revenue management cloud service 2-3 years back, but because of this new announcement or new policy, Oracle has revamped this and launched I think sometime last year. So because from 1st January 2018 onwards, you need to use that new policy, and 2017 you need to restate your financial statements as per that. So revenue management cloud service, it will help in that. Okay, so these are the services available for subscription. So you can subscribe for say financials cloud, expenses cloud, and automated invoice processing, and minimum user number of users are these. Okay. And there are some dependencies, like if you are going for automated invoice processing, then you must have financials cloud. You cannot procure this standalone. So this is how cloud subscription works. And then you have a procurement side, purchasing, supplier portal, supplier qualification management, procurement contracts. So similarly, you can subscribe for those, and everything is coupled together. So if you are say subscribing for say procurement cloud, HCM cloud, and financials cloud, you will not be getting 3 different instances. You will get single instance. So all the integrations, seeded integrations like payroll, once it is that payroll is posted to GL, it will automatically come in financials. So everything is as if like it works as if it is in EBS on-premise. So all those things are integrated, and single cloud service you will get. Okay, so now let's cover few basic terms and key features and benefits. So earlier in EBS we had D2K forms and some OF forms, and then I think in latest versions all the forms are moved to OF. Now in ERP cloud or in Fusion application, all the pages are web based. There is no D2K form, and the technology behind the scene is ADF, application development framework. So all the pages are based on ADF. Okay, and they have redesigned everything from scratch. So all the pages are revamped in Fusion, and like we used to call workbench, invoice workbench, sales order workbench. Here we call it as work areas. Okay, and work areas are like kind of dashboards for individual users. Say for example, AP invoice clerk, his responsibilities are like entering the invoices, resolving holds, submitting invoices for hold, submitting invoices for approval. So those are some basic responsibilities that AP clerk has. So they will that user will see on his invoice work area all those things which requires his attention. Say if we have implemented automated invoice processing, so some invoices will be lying in his queue for processing. So those will be visible on his dashboard. Say 20 invoices are pending, then 20 invoices are on hold. So some kind of hold, like purchasing related hold, system hold, or manual hold. Different holds are there. So system will show in one box these many holds are there. Then you have invoice submitted for approval, pending for my approval. Some different boxes are there, known as info tiles. So all those things will be available on his dashboard. So he will know that he need to take action on all these things. So holds, so you don't need to run a report to get that information. Or invoices pending for his processing, or pending for processing, he need not to go and search for those missing information. So when he clicks on that number, say 20 invoices are pending, when he clicks on that 20, system will show all those 20 records, and he can start doing the processing those transactions. So based on the roles, user will see a dashboard. Similarly, similar to invoices, you have payments workbench, work area, or in GL you have a dashboard, so you can proactively monitor the balances, and there are different sections of that dashboard which you can see on that. So basically exceptions are shown there, some key information. So role-based dashboard that pushes issues, tasks, and work to users. So they don't need to run different reports. They will see that on their dashboard. Then imaging integration for supplier invoice scanning. So as I explained, automated invoice processing. So you will get an email ID from Oracle, and you can send those invoice images to that email ID. And those invoices will be created in the system, and user just need to verify, enter missing information, and process it. Embedded transaction intelligence that guide users' decision. So on many pages you will see charts and graphs embedded. Say for example, account monitor you have. So like it automatically shows if your revenue is going up, it is positive for my, or it is favorable to my organization, so it will show as green. Or if like my expenses are going up, then it will show in red. So system has inbuilt business intelligence. And say for example, when you are posting a journal, processing a journal, and you entered one journal line, right hand side you can see the projected balance. What will be my balance if I post this journal? So all those things are inbuilt within the application or in those pages. In say procurement, not related to financials, but in procurement, user will see how many requisitions are pending for processing, how many requisitions are like converted into purchase orders, how many POs are pending for approval. All those things will be shown graphically. You can click on that graph and see the information. Okay. Innovative embedded multi-dimensional reporting platform. This is one of the key feature of this ERP cloud or financial cloud. In a Hyperion you have that S-based cube, which is a multi-dimensional database to do the analysis. So that S-based cube is embedded within the application. So in EDS R12, suppose you want to implement, or you are implementing Hyperion, then overnight batch or some batch process will take the balances data from EDS and put it in Hyperion, and then you can generate it. Normally it is an overnight batch process. So users will have to wait for one day to get it refreshed. But here that S-based cube is embedded within the application. So when you post a journal, so it performs two things. One is it updates your transactional balances or that GL balance. So you have GL underscore balances table. So that table will be updated. And second thing, it will update that S-based cube. Okay. So unless or until both the databases are updated, your transactional database, that GL balances table, and your S-based cube, system will not mark that journal as posted. So immediately after posting the journal, you can refresh your financial statement and you can get the report. And this S-based cube, there are some tools available like Account Monitor, Account Inspector, Smart View, Financial Reporting Studio, which helps you in reporting based on that S-based cube. These are multi-dimensional. And when I say multi-dimensional, you have dimension is nothing but like parameters which you use for reporting. So all your chart of account segments will be parameters. Your period, accounting period, your ledger or ledger set, your this currency, all these will be different parameters based on which you will be doing the analysis or you will be generating your financial statements. So all those things are available in this, and so all these dimensions are available in S-based cube, and it stores data in pre-aggregated format. And when I say pre-aggregated, say for example, you have accounting period, say monthly period, then it rolls into quarter 1, quarter 2, quarter 3, quarter 4, and then it rolls into financial year. System will be storing data at each of these levels. When you are posting, system will store at all these levels. So at runtime, system will not be calculating it. It is pre-aggregated. So all the reports will be much faster. Okay, so we'll get into the details of this S-based cube, and we'll go through all those reporting tools, Account Monitor, Account Inspector. We'll go through all those. Extensive spreadsheet integration across finance function. So we know in EDS we had web ADI, so we can upload journals, we can upload assets, and there might be one or two more, but very limited web ADIs were available in EBS. I don't know about the latest version, but in Fusion there are a lot of entities which are Excel enabled. So one thing, like you can export any screen So you see a export icon which exports in Excel file. Okay, that is one thing. And similar to Web ADI, you have ADF-DI, that is Application Development Framework Desktop Integrator. So we call it as ADF-DI in ERP Cloud. So you have for AP invoices, you have it for journals, assets, you have it for receipts, Oracle, receivables receipts. Then you have for all the correction pages, like journal correction or invoice import correction, auto invoice correction. All these corrections are through spreadsheets. Asset correction, all those will be through spreadsheet. So a lot of entities are enabled for ADF-DI. Okay. And many times, like a lot of information you can export from the application without running a report. So on search pages, you will have a lot of fields available, or you can add a few more fields in search criteria and you can export. You can search that and then export the results. So many times, like say I am looking for journals with this particular account, all journal lines with this particular account. So you can just do a query and system will generate the result and you can export it. So Excel, there are a lot of entities which are Excel enabled. Then simultaneous accounting of multiple reporting requirements. So this is same as that subledger accounting. So you can account in like as per IFRS as well as per US GAAP. So you can use that functionality in Financials Cloud as well. Then you have self-service reporting. So to implement self-service reporting, we used to implement Discoverer, like Discoverer, where user can drag and drop columns and then they can generate those analysis or reports. But Discoverer again, either it will be based on the views or it will be based on some different database tables. So overnight batch will extract the data from your base tables and put it in Discoverer tables, and then user will be able to extract the information next day. Here you have OTBI, that is Oracle Transaction Business Intelligence, which is based on your transactional database. So you can generate real-time reports from OTBI, and users can drag and drop column, apply some filters, do some like whether they are looking for tabular format or graphical format. They can design their reports on their own. They don't need to reach out to IT team to get that report developed. So they can do it on their own. Then there are a couple of things which got added. So like you have in Springboard and info tiles. So info tiles are small tiles in the application which shows some action items or which shows some summary information. Say for example, cash management info tile. So you have bank statement. What is the value of that bank statement which is not reconciled? And what is the value of open transactions? So it shows in summary format. There are a lot of info tiles available. If you configure say revenue account or some top level revenue account and few things, then system will show what is your revenue. You don't need to run any report. It will be available on your dashboard. So those info tiles got introduced, I think, in release 11. And in Springboard, so I'll show you when we navigate through the application. But it is a very good feature. You don't need to search your task in say 15, 20 or 30 tasks. It is grouped together, which can be customized also. So these are some of the key features, and because of this like some benefits. So these are from a data sheet for financials. Resolve issues to speed up automated processing. So all the issues will be pushed on the user's dashboard. So invoices on hold or stop payments or payments on hold or like all those things will be visible on user's dashboard. So he can take action, and he can monitor that and take action immediately. He don't need to be notified or something. Reduce transaction processing cost and data entry errors. So like you have Excel integration, ADF/DI. So users can say they want to create 100 invoices. They just need to fill the Excel and upload. Second thing, you have automated invoice processing, which will automatically fetch the information from that invoice image. User need not to enter many fields. So those are that reduces the transaction processing cost and data entry error, because in Excel also all the validations will be performed. Live financial data is available real time. So as I mentioned, like S-base cube, so it is refreshed automatically when you post the journal, and OTDI data is available real time. So as soon as you save a transaction, you can see that in OTDI reports. So real time information is available. Comply with global accounting standards. So same transaction you can account as per IFRS, as per US GAAP, or any other local statutory process. You can do the accounting. Improve decision making and increase accuracy during transaction entry, and hardware, software, and processes built to work efficiently. So you have in cloud, you don't have to worry about hardware or like application or networking component, all those things, and Oracle has streamlined all those things so that like all those things will work efficiently together. So we don't have to worry about server or hardware capacity or backups. Everything will be taken care by Oracle. Okay. Then let's go through some terms which we frequently use in ERP cloud. One is a functional setup manager. So in EBS R12 or any EBS version, if we have to configure, say, financials, then we'll be going through those super user responsibilities or manager responsibilities. GL related tasks will configure in GL super user. Payables related task will configure in payables manager task responsibility. So all those setup pages were spread across the responsibilities. Here, system is divided in two parts. One is your transaction and another one is your functional setup management or setup and maintenance work area. So everything related to configuration you will be doing in FSM, functional setup manager. So your ledger creation, chart of account creation, your payables maintenance, receivables maintenance, everything is done in functional setup manager. And we'll go into the detail of this FSM shortly, but it is it generates a task list, so and which will be sequential. So say for example, when you are creating your chart of account, first thing what you will be doing, you will be creating your chart of account value sets, then you will be creating your chart of account, then you will be creating your ledger or calendar, then your ledger. So all these are sequential things. You cannot configure payables before starting your GL configuration or basic, unless this basic GL configuration is there. So all those tasks are sequential. So that sequence will be maintained automatically in FSM. If you follow that sequence, you will not miss any setup task. Then these two components, you will not be hearing these anymore because these are discontinued from release 12 till release 11, these components were there: OIM, Oracle Identity Manager, and Authorization Policy Manager. So these are two different databases. So basically there are 3-4 databases. One is your transactional database. I'm not talking about S-base. You have transactional database where your configuration and your transactional data will be stored. Then you have Oracle Identity Manager. This is a Fusion middleware component where you will be doing user maintenance, user creation, password reset, assigning the roles. All those things will be done in OIM. And then you have Authorization Policy Manager where you will be defining roles, role templates, all those things. So access permission is maintained in Authorization Policy Manager. And when you log into the application, so first, whether the user is whether it is an authentic user or not. So authentication part is handled by OIM. Okay, so whatever password user has entered, whether it is correct or not, that will be checked in OIM. And then once he logs in, whether he can create invoice on this particular business unit, or whether he can create a journal in this particular ledger, whether user is allowed or not, that is checked in Authorization Policy Manager. So that is authorization. User is authorized to perform this task. Okay, so that is APM. So earlier in till release 11, so release 9 onwards, gradually Oracle started moving these tasks to within the application. Behind the scene, these components might still be there, but in release 12, we don't have to go to OIM and APM. So OIM, you will create your users, and in APM you will maintain your role definition. In release 9, they have launched Security Console, or that new task or new functionality got introduced, Security Console. So where you could do role maintenance. In release 9, 10, 11, you could do role maintenance. But in release 12, they have introduced user maintenance task also under Security Console. So you don't have to go into these things, OIM and APM anymore. Everything related to security you will be doing in Security Console. Okay, WebLogic Server, this is a on-premise term. So all your application pages will be hosted on WebLogic Server. Then you have business unit and business functions. So business unit is similar to your operating unit in EBS. So operating unit, so all your subledgers will work based on operating units in EBS. Similarly here, your subledgers will work based on business unit. Almost same term, but the difference between business unit and operating unit is you can enable few functions for that business unit. Say for example, in EBS, you create operating unit. You can use that in AT. You can use that in AR. So in both the subledgers, you can use that same business operating unit. Here, if you want, you can enable one business unit for payables invoicing. You can enable another business unit for payables payments. You can enable another business unit for receivables. So you can have different business units, and this is done mainly to handle shared service kind of scenarios. Say for example, you have say centralized procurement. So you have centralized procurement team and you have distributed say payables team. So this will be kind of client service model. So these business units will be linked. So one business unit will be enabled only for procurement and another one will be enabled for payables. Okay, and then you will be doing those transactions. So to handle that shared service kind of model, this is divided in two parts. Similarly, like payments processing also, so you can do you can have centralized payment team who will maintain like bank balances and everything, and they can manage it. Okay. Then reference set concept. This reference set concept is taken from PeopleSoft. So if you are aware of PeopleSoft, there is a concept called set ID. And this is basically to reuse the configuration. So one of the disadvantage we had in EBS was like transaction type in receivables. That is a classic example. So you have 5 operating units and you have 5 transaction types, and you want to use same transaction type in all those 5 operating units. You will end up creating 25 transaction types, 5 in each operating unit. But here you can define it once and use it in all business units. And in ERP cloud, lot of entities are enabled for reference set. Say another example is payment term. So payment term, once it is defined in the system in EBS, all the operating units will see that payment term. You cannot restrict a specific payment term to a specific operating unit. But here, if you have that kind of requirement, you can do that using reference set. So payment terms, then hold codes, lot of entities like in financials, lot of entities are enabled for reference set. Another thing, this reference set concept works only on business units. So in GL, you cannot use this functionality, reference set functionality. But in AP, AR, fixed assets, you will have this reference set concept. It doesn't work on ledger. Okay, and date effective hierarchies. You have when you create hierarchies in EBS, you can maintain one hierarchy, and like if you want to use old hierarchy, you cannot use it, or you will have to rebuild that hierarchy. Here you can have from 1st January 2014 to 31st December 2014, this is the hierarchy. And you can have reports based on those hierarchies as well, old hierarchies. So date effective hierarchies you can maintain. Then you have chart of account structure and instances. In EBS, we had chart of account concept. There was no structure or instance. So you will define value sets and you will define chart of account, and that's it. You will use that chart of account. So take an example of multinational company MNC, and they have operations in 2 different countries, say UK and India. So, and there was some requirement to have different type of chart of account, or 1 or 2 segments should be different in UK and India. So in EBS, you will end up creating 2 different chart of accounts, and you will need to do the maintenance of those 2 chart of accounts. Here you can have you can divide or it is divided in 2 parts: chart of account structure and instance. So structure will give structure to your chart of account. So number of segments, what will be the length of each segment, what will be the sequence, what will be the segment label or qualifier for each segment. You can define all those things. What will be my separator? All those things are maintained in structure, and the default value set that is attached at structure level. And then you can create multiple instances of that structure. So UK, you can create 1 instance. India, you can create 1 instance. And if your structure, say for example, you have maintained 1 segment as local. So UK will have different value set for local. India will have different value set for local. So this way, like when you are consolidating your financial statement, it will be very easy, because same value sets are used for most of the segments except 1 or 2 segments. So that can be done here. Role-based access control, RBAC. So in EBS, we know responsibilities. So we have payables responsibilities, super payable super user, GL super user, all those responsibilities are there. Instead of, and under those responsibilities, you will have menus and functions, all those. Here, security is maintained through roles. So you have different types of roles, like you have duty role, you have privileges, you have job roles, and earlier we had data roles, but now we grant access to specific business units or ledger. So different types of roles are there, and we assign those roles to users. So we'll get into the details of this security in some time, but security is maintained through roles in Fusion or in ERP Cloud. And then S-Base Cube. So as I explained, this is a multi-dimensional database which stores the balances, GL balances in pre-aggregate format. Okay. So before we get into that security, what I'll do is I'll take you through the Fusion navigation, different work areas and how it works. Okay. So let's get into the application now. Let's now go through the security, how it works in ERP Cloud. And it is common security model for all the pillars, HCM, PPM, financial, CX, all these pillars will use the same security mechanism. And also you can have single sign-on enabled. So there are few steps and you need to work with Oracle to get that enabled. So now let's start with the how once you have subscribed for this Fusion Cloud or ERP Cloud, so what happens? Okay, so when you subscribe for a cloud instance or cloud, if you buy cloud subscription, you get 2 instances by default. Okay, one will be your test instance and another will be your production instance. Okay, and if you have a requirement, you can ask for additional instances, but those will be charged separately. By default, in your normal subscription, you get 2 instances, test and production. Okay, and you will get the user credentials. So your admin, whatever admin you have given while subscribing for these services, admin will get user credentials. Okay, so URL and user ID, password, and some service page, also my services, where you can see all the instances and status of that. So you will get those credentials. Okay, so you get URL and user ID, password, and if you have subscribed for automated invoice processing, then you will get 2 email IDs. Okay, one for test and one for production. So these email IDs should be used for sending the invoice images. Okay, so you will get those 2 email IDs along with, so those will be in separate mail. Once that is enabled, you will get those 2 IDs. Okay, and so first time when you access, system will ask you to change the password, so you can change it. And this is your lending home login page. So I'm using this particular user and password. In case you forget your password, then click on forgot password, and system will ask for some like your email ID or something, and then system will send a link to reset your password. This is a new functionality got added in release 12. Till release 11, when you first time access your user ID, system will ask to set some security question and answers. Security question to some or answers to some questions. And when you go to this forgot password, system will ask those security questions, and then if answers are valid, system will allow you to reset your password. But in release 12, now system will send a link to your registered email ID, and then you can reset your password. So this is a different in release 12 till release 11 it was different. Then language. So if you have different languages installed, you can select the language here. Okay. Click on sign in. So now, as I said, like everything is role based. So this admin user, first user which we got, that user will have a lot of privileges. Okay, especially IT security manager. That is the main role which is which grants access to maintain the security. Okay, so you will get access to security console with that role, IT security manager. So your admin user will have that role, and he can grant that role to anyone. So it's not that only he can create users or maintain users, he can grant that role to anyone. So first role is IT security manager. Now this IT security manager will create other users, okay, and then he will grant IT security manager role so that other users can also maintain the security. Additionally, for implementers, you need to have these roles: application implementation consultant and application implementation manager. These roles will give you access to functional setup manager or setup and maintenance work area. So if you want to configure the application, you should have these roles. Without these roles, you will not be able to see the setup and maintenance work area. Okay. So this is your landing page or home page when you access the application. This is the global area. So this area will always be visible irrespective of where you are in the application. When you are creating invoices or creating payments or any other page, this area is fixed. This will always be visible. Then this is called Springboard. Okay, Springboard. So based on your access permissions, you will see icons here. If the number of tasks you have access to is less than or equal to 16, then all those tasks will be available directly. Say for when I say task, so I have access to a lot of tasks, but these are all the tasks which I can perform. If number of these tasks are less than 16, then all those tasks will be available individually. Say I'm just responsible for invoice creation. So I have that role, AP invoice specialist or accounts payable specialist role. So I'll have very limited number of tasks. So all the tasks under that AP, which is, where is payables? Yeah, invoices and payments, those will be available directly here. So you will have one icon for invoices, one icon for payables. Okay. But if a number of tasks are more than 16, then those will be grouped. So you will see the task for payables or say receivables. So this is your payables task. So invoices and payments will be under that, not directly on this Springboard. Similarly, on receivables, you have three different tasks: billing, accounts receivable, and revenue. So those will be grouped together under this. And all these can be customized in the sense you can decide when you give normal access, then also user will see lot of these tasks which are not relevant, so you can go and change it using this structure. Okay, I'll not get into that because there are very good documents available on Metalink or support site. So how to customize this springboard, you can do that, but that task is structure. Okay, so this is the area from where you can access those tasks, or user can access those from here as well. But you can see like here it is very manageable, very limited number of tasks are there, and you can navigate it through that. But if you go through, then you will have to really struggle to get to your task. So both the options are there. Okay, this is social networking, internal social networking. So you can follow some conversation. You can follow other users, or somebody might be following you. This is like a global area. So if you want to admin can send a notification, or admin can change this page, this some kind of news like submit your expense report before this date, or submit all your expense reports for this financial year before this date. So those kind of news they can publish here in this area. And employee news, you can see here. Okay, so this is internal social networking. And these are various sections or info, what is the infolets. So you have I was talking about info tiles. So these are various tiles. What is your cash balance as per your bank statement and GL? What is the cash balance I have? Unreconciled bank transactions, system transactions, at risk, if you have this automated receipt, direct debit kind of functionality, then how many receipts are at risk? 5-day forecast, so in next 5 days how much cash I'll need. So all those things can be seen here. Similarly, you will have other infolets. So this is related to GL. So close calendar, open subledgers, so all those intercompany transactions. So this is related to GL. So revenue, if you have set the top level revenue account, then you can see that here. Currently it is not coming, all these are blank. AP reconciliation, AR reconciliation. So if there is any difference between your AP trial balance or open liability balance as per AP and liability as per liability balance as per GL, if there is any difference, you can see it here. So these tiles are very, very useful, and you can configure these as well. And there could be some hidden tiles. So you can check, suppose few tiles are not useful, then you can uncheck those. Service infolet and quick actions. So these infolets are there, and I have not done that personally, but you can create these tiles as well. So you can write some analysis in OTBI, and you can do it. You can create those tiles here. I have not done that, but I think there are some documents available in Metalink which you can use.
It is what we call the dashboard or the tax under the GL.
This is your home page. So home page has these many tabs. GL dashboard is separate. So under GL you will have a separate dashboard. This is not a GL dashboard. Okay. So basically this is home page with these infolets. Okay. And this is a home icon. So wherever you are, like invoice page or GL journal page, you can click on this and it will bring you to this page. Okay, this is favorites and recent items similar to what we have in browser. So you can set some favorite tasks like invoices. Suppose that user is always creating journals or invoices. He or she can set that as a favorite, and they can access those tasks from here directly. They don't need to go through navigator or search here. They can directly go here. And recent items, so all the tasks which you have accessed recently, those will be available here. This icon, watch list, very good feature. So here system will show all the tasks which require some attention. Say for example, when you are creating an asset, okay, or you are uploading assets, and you know that, or say you are running that mass additions process from AP to fixed assets, okay, and in once that data, AP data is there in FA mass additions table, you need to prepare it. So there is some action item on you, or say invoices on hold, or in journal import error, invoice import error, auto invoice error. So all those things will require some attention. So all those things are grouped together in watch list.